The following program is brought to you by the Southern California Rapid Transit District and in part by the following companies who share RTD's concern about transit and the environment. General Telephone and Electronics, GTE, the power is on. Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Studios Hollywood, where you'll live the movies. Hello, I'm Joseph Benty.
And I'm Diana Ortelli.
Southern California has always been known as a region on the go.
Transportation helped make Southern California what it is today, and it will make a major contribution to what it'll be tomorrow.
And that's what this television series is all about.
In this program, I'll say goodbye to my car and take a day trip to San Diego. With the help of Amtrak and an efficient system of mass transit, it will be an adventure that's as environmentally conscious as it is fun.
I'll explore the future of transportation in the San Fernando Valley. It's a tale of two transit alternatives. Whichever is chosen will have major implications for the Valley and Los Angeles in the 21st century.
The future of our environment is the subject of my look at an innovative recycling technology that's turning worn old car tires into brand new streets and highways. One day we may all be riding on rubber roads.
These stories and more on Transit 2000.
When it comes to getting around town, nothing outperforms your phone. So make the call before you make the drive.
Darryl Strawberry can hit and field. He weighs 200 pounds and can turn or stop on a dime. The new Metro Blue Line weighs over 100 tons, and it can't stop on a dime. You need to be careful around something so powerful. Never try to beat the Blue Line to a crossing or drive around warning barriers. It's no game. So don't play around with the Metro Blue Line, because one hit and it's over.
Union Station is a landmark of LA's past, but recently I went there to experience a glimpse of Southern California's future. I haven't been to San Diego in a long time, so I decided to make the trip south to rediscover the sights and maybe do a little shopping in Tijuana. Now, if I was doing this as usual, I'd be easing into traffic on Interstate 5 going south. It's a trip that should take approximately 2 hours, depending on traffic. But that's a big depends. Anybody who knows the I-5 freeway knows it can be Southern California's best example of life in the slow lane. An excursion to San Diego can turn into a nerve-wracking 3 hours easy. More than that, according to the South Coast Air Quality District, a stop-and-go car trip produces the worst kinds of auto emissions, and that means more smog. So this time, I'm leaving the car behind. Don't worry, I won't be long. Wish me luck. Built in the late 30s, Union Station is one of the last of America's grand railroad terminals. Today, the lobby seems a little quiet, but big changes are in the works. Nearby, the first phase of LA's Metro Rail is nearing completion. New commuter rail lines are set to open soon, and America's national rail system, Amtrak, continues to expand and improve its service in Southern California. It's Amtrak that will carry me on the first leg of my adventure without a car.
You'll be boarding through gate letter C, next room over to your right.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.
There are 8 round-trip San Diego trains every day. Train travel is hardly a novelty to many people on the East Coast, but for a car-loving Southern Californian like me, it takes a little getting used to. Like knowing I can look out the window and not worry about steering. Passing southbound traffic on the 405, even when it isn't congested, makes the trip seem even faster. Before I know it, I've arrived in San Diego's Santa Fe station, and my car is 120 miles away.
The trolley ticket and your bus map.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the San Diego Railroad Museum in the Amtrak train station. It's a one-stop center for bus and trolley tickets, route information, everything for the carless tourist like me. San Diego has been doing a lot of growing during the past few years. An important part of this growth has been a new and expanded system of buses and trolleys to help tie it all together. For a visitor, catching a trolley couldn't be easier. City Center, a major stop, is just across the street from the Amtrak train station. Like LA's RTD Blue Line, tickets are dispensed by automated machines. A one-day pass costs $4. Fares are on the honor system, but if you're caught on a trolley without one, the fine starts at $45. Electrically powered, the trolley cars are quiet and smooth riding. Only a couple of stops away from City Center is San Diego's dramatic new convention center. I've come here for more information about the transit choices in San Diego. The president of San Diego's Convention and Visitor Bureau is Reint Reinders.
The reason the trolley system is here in San Diego is because there are people who have a future vision of what the transportation network should be here in San Diego when it is completed. We, of course, love the mass transit availability for our visitors because it really shows that people do not need to rent a car each time they have to go someplace. During their visit, 2 or 3 day visit, a weekend getaway, whatever it may be, there are many things that one could do without using a car transportation and using public transportation.
Okay, informed and ready to go, I was eager to stop talking about the great weather and start enjoying it. My first trolley stop was San Diego's Seaport Village, a harborside gathering of 65 specialty shops and 18 restaurants. A stroll on the boardwalk in Seaport Village offers some of the best views of San Diego Bay and a perfect chance to experience a little of that fresh air Reint Reinders was so proud about. Another trolley ride and a short walk took me on another kind of trip, back in time to San Diego's Gaslamp Quarter, a historic 16-block neighborhood of quaint shops, stylish restaurants, and far from old-fashioned nightlife. Only 4 blocks away, I found myself in a lively and unpredictable vision of the future, Horton Plaza. Shopping, dining, entertainment, it's all a short walk or convenient bus or trolley ride away. After a couple of hours in San Diego, I have to admit I haven't missed my car at all. The downtown area is easily walkable, and buses and trolleys are available for most of the city's more distant attractions. Regularly scheduled city buses take tourists to SeaWorld. Another public bus takes visitors to San Diego's Balboa Park and the city's world-famous zoo with almost 4,000 animals in a 100-acre tropical garden. Then there is colorful Tijuana, a trolley ride away, but on this trip, Tijuana will have to wait. Seeing San Diego really demands more than just a day, but the short-time visitor doesn't give up any of the city's close-by convenience. In the heart of town, there are more than 7,000 hotel rooms, some like this one with spectacular harbor views. My day in San Diego is almost over, but I've still got some more shopping to do. A quaint, privately run trolley takes me to Old Town, the heart of San Diego's Mexican past. I take time for a relaxing late lunch in one of the city's best-known restaurants, housed in an 1829 adobe hacienda. And then it's off to my last stop of my San Diego carless adventure. Only a few steps away, it's the colorful Bazar del Mundo in the heart of Old Town. I couldn't imagine a better place to end my busy day in San Diego. And what made it all possible was fast and efficient mass transit, a new generation of the trains, trolleys, and buses that first built Southern California are creating its future.
Boy, what a day. I could have used the whole weekend to see everything there is to see in San Diego, but it's time to go home. And the best thing is, I won't be fighting air-polluting traffic all the way. With a train, I can breathe easy in more ways than one.
It's coming. Transportation that runs 97% cleaner than gasoline-powered vehicles. In fact, with the Blue Line train from Los Angeles to Long Beach and the electric bus in Santa Barbara, hope for cleaner skies is closer than you may think. It's electric transportation, and we're helping to speed it on its way. Not just energy, creative energy. From Southern California Edison.
Say, I'll bet it's been a while since you took the family to Universal Studios.
We never get out of this tree.
Well, you won't believe how much has changed. There's the E.T. Adventure, the new Rocky and Bullwinkle Show, the rockin' new Beetlejuice Graveyard Review. It's a whole new experience. So, I bet you can't wait to take the whole family.
So, Jungle Boy.
The new Universal Studios Hollywood. If you haven't been lately, you haven't been. Let's go!
No matter where you go in the sprawling San Fernando Valley, you're never very far from the massive freeway system that each and every day transports hundreds of thousands of commuters. Before World War II, that was a job that was done by the old red car rail line. In fact, in those days, Los Angeles had the largest interurban rail system in the world. Well, then along came the 50s, and the automobile and the freeways, and it ended all of that. And now, today, as we approach the 21st century, rail transportation is suddenly new again. Not only that, it is a major ingredient in a massive plan that it is hoped by the year 2000 is going to help to solve what is fast becoming the commuter's nightmare.
Pat McLaughlin is the San Fernando Valley Area Team Director for the Los Angeles County Transportation Commission.
Well, as you know, the Valley is facing near gridlock by the end of this century. Right now we have average freeway speeds of about 24 miles an hour in the Valley during the peak period. It's some of the worst congestion in Los Angeles County, and it's predicted that if we don't do something about traffic in the Valley, that the average freeway speeds will go down to 7 miles an hour in the Ventura Freeway corridor by the year 2000.
After years of debate, two competing rail alternatives emerged for the Valley. The first would be an elevated aerial system, a monorail perhaps, following the route of the Ventura Freeway. The second would be a subway and above-ground train system using existing rail right-of-way along Chandler Boulevard.
They'll be followed up with letters and calls.
Yeah, we'll have to follow these up.
Richard Worth is co-chairman of the Citizens Committee for Monorail.
Monorail will run between $40 and $60 million a mile, and at the present time we're spending over $300 million a mile on a metro rail system. So cost is a primary factor, particularly in this type of an economy. Secondly, environmentally speaking, monorail has been proven time and time again to be the most environmentally sensitive type of system. It is virtually noiseless. The example of that is that the monorail system runs through the Disney Hotel and Disney World in Orlando approximately 20 hours a day, and there are people sleeping above and below the monorail and are never disturbed.
Rosalind Wayman is a deputy to City Council member Marvin Browdy.
What is it about the subway system, in your mind, that outweighs the extra $600 million cost as opposed to what the aerial system would cost?
It's a visionary, futuristic issue for me. I don't want to build for today, I want to build for the future. I want to make sure that what we have is compatible with what's coming in from Hollywood, so that when you get to the North Hollywood station or at Universal, you aren't getting off one train, going up another flight, going across, getting up, going on. It's been shown if you can create less transfers and make it easier for people to ride the rail, you're going to get a higher ridership.
For many Valley residents, rail ridership is only half of the equation. What about the effects on the neighborhoods those rail riders pass through? Don Schultz is president of the Van Nuys Homeowners Association. He opposes the Burbank-Chandler line.
The route itself is going to go through too many residential neighborhoods and divide residential neighborhoods. The voters in the San Fernando Valley did an advisory vote on what line they preferred as far as transit in the San Fernando Valley. Nearly 50% of the people that voted for monorail on the Ventura Freeway. This line, Burbank-Chandler, got the third out of the fourth, and the last selection was no rail at all. So you can see that if you look at money, if you look at the choice of the people who voted for it, and if you look at the most obvious, what's going to move the most cars and where it is the most visible, Ventura Freeway has to be the most obvious.
Those who favor the Burbank-Chandler route say that plans to create a subway through more heavily residential areas will limit community disruption, and they have their own economic and environmental criticisms of an aerial system. Polly Ward is vice president of the Studio City Residents Association.
You know, there are a lot of people in the valley who voted on a referendum that they would like to see that monorail in the valley. I don't think they understood, because when people are told how high that is going to be and how visually impacting it's going to be, they suddenly sober up about, you know, whether this would be good or not. I think that there are savings in continuing the Metro Rail in terms of you're using the same cars, you're using the same operators, you're using the same technology, you are using the same maintenance crew. And I think if it were really costed out, which can't be done because no one knows, that the continuation of Metro Rail would be cheaper than the monorail. And a lot of people agree with me on that.
The ultimate question is, which transit alternative will best serve Valley residents? Universal City North Hollywood Chamber of Commerce Executive Vice President Don Eichner.
We still have no central mass transit project through the heart of the San Fernando Valley, and no room to develop what can be a positive growth capacity. What happens is you're immediately restricted on the Ventura Freeway with Ventura Boulevard. They have a specific plan. They have absolute limits on what they can do. Well, if you have limits on what you can do, how are you going to, you know, where do you grow to, and how do you develop plans that are positive and balance the needs of the community? It's strangled, you know, from the get-go.
After years of study, planning, and debate, in a short time, the Los Angeles County Transportation Commission will make its final decision for the Valley's transit future. And whether it's an aerial system over the Ventura Freeway or a subway rail system along the Burbank-Chandler route, many see the coming of a better day for mass transit in the Valley.
We see that as a tremendous day for the commuter in the Valley, because we have a whole system that's a set of building blocks that's all designed to work together. It's called our Metro system. We'll be opening commuter rail in October of 1992, which will provide for those long distance trips to downtown. We'll be redesigning the bus system with SCRTD in the next year or two to provide feeder service to these rail systems and to make sure that people can get from their homes to activity centers without transferring too often. We'll be improving the service for the elderly and disabled. We'll have a series of high occupancy vehicle lanes on the 118 freeway, the 5 freeway, the 170, and the 405 that'll all work together to get carpoolers, van poolers, and bus poolers back and forth in the future.
No residential representative or homeowner group wants to see any of their neighborhood adversely affected by anything, any sort of improvement. If it's something that's going to be for the betterment of the city and will really improve transportation in the city, then we're all going to have to give to some degree. But what we have to do is kind of find out which technology is the best and will serve the most people.
I would rather see us coming closer together and developing positive growth plans that make good sense. I think it's irresponsible to not recognize that 400,000 new births will occur in the San Fernando Valley between now and 2010. It's almost immoral to say, well, let's not plan for it.
I am not one of those people that are an all or nothing. I mean, we have lots of options. We have buses, we have taxi cabs, we have automobiles, we have rail. There are lots of ways to get around our city, and the rail, for me, is the future. And I would imagine 20, 30 years down the road, we're not going to have as many automobiles on the road because we're going to have connections and interlinkings, and it's just going to make a lot of sense.
I think the transit can be the catalyst to the future and the development of the city of Los Angeles. It is not going to be one system, and this is my own opinion and my estimation. It's going to be a system that is made up of various components that may be different to move people around and to do business. Without the transportation systems and the improvements to the transportation systems economically, we are going to suffer.
Somebody got me out of my car 15 years ago. It happened because it was convenient. And if it's convenient and it's clean and it's fast and it's safe, people will get out of their cars. When they realize how much money they are saving, that will be a strong incentive.
One time, she stuck a green bean in her ear and had to go to the hospital. Well, she's always got a thing about her weight. You know, for her first Halloween, she was a bunny. Oh, she looks so cute.
Mom, is that Grandma?
No, some boy named Jason from your school.
With Smart Ring from GTE, your phone can tell you who a call is for before you pick it up. One ring for you and another for the kids.
This is Chuck Connors asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
Heavy traffic means more than getting home.
And if it's convenient and it's clean and it's fast and it's safe, people will get out of their cars. When they realize how much money they are saving, that will be a strong incentive.
One time, she stuck a green bean in her ear and had to go to the hospital. Well, she's always got a thing about her weight. You know, for her first Halloween, she was a bunny. Oh, she looks so cute.
Mom, is that Grandma?
No, some boy named Jason from your school.
With Smart Ring from GTE, your phone can tell you who a call is for before you pick it up. One ring for you and another for the kids.
This is Chuck Connors asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
Heavy traffic means more than getting home late. When the rubber meets the road, the result can mean increased maintenance costs, and it can have a major impact on our environment. Rougher roads also mean tires wear out sooner. It's been estimated that 280 million tires are discarded in America every year. Burning them causes noxious smoke, and burying them quickly overflows landfills. Because of this, many states have banned both kinds of disposal for worn-out tires. More cars, deteriorating roads, piles of tires. It's a vicious economic and environmental circle. The contents of this bottle may hold a solution. This is granulated rubber from recycled tires. Combined with conventional highway asphalt, these ground-up tires contribute to a new kind of street surfacing. Some call them rubber roads. The streets of Thousand Oaks are a major example of rubber roads in action. Thousand Oaks City Manager is Grant Brimhall.
The principal benefits we feel of the so-called rubber roads are several. First of all, we're doing some very good recycling. In our community last year, we had about a $3 million contract, but which is more expensive than the normal system, but we were also able to keep 170,000 tires out of the dump. Secondly, when the rubber meets the road, it's meeting a rubber road, and the noise level drops, and so it's a more peaceful neighborhood. Thirdly, they last a lot longer. We're able, we think, to extend double the life of a normal street. That means that instead of paving a street or repaving it every 20 years, you're doing it every 40 years.
Today, a relatively small percentage of California's highways use asphalt rubber, but Caltrans is working to determine industry standards for the future. Enthusiasts think the technology has great potential. John Corcoran is president of Manhole Adjusting Incorporated, a road resurfacing company.
It would only take 40% of the federally funded roadways to include asphalt rubber as the system being utilized for that purpose to take care of the entire current waste stream of tires that's generated on an annual basis.
John Corcoran's projections remain untested, but turning old tires into new roads is certainly the kind of thinking we'll need to create transportation systems that are as environmentally sound as they are economical.
I think cities generally are being encouraged by a whole variety of factors, economics, environmental issues, and a host of other things, to be more entrepreneurial, to look at a better way to do something than perhaps we've done it in the past. And the fact that we've done it one certain way for 50 or 100 or more years doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it.
This is Susan Rattan asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
This is Ed Begley Jr. asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
Nearly every day in Los Angeles, some 1.5 million trips are made on buses and trains, mostly by people going to and from work.
But bus transportation can be used for fun, too.
Something than perhaps we've done it in the past, and the fact that we've done it one certain way for 50 or 100 or more years doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it.
This is Susan Rattan asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
This is Ed Begley Jr. asking for your help. Let's clean up LA.
Nearly every day in Los Angeles, some 1.5 million trips are made on buses and trains, mostly by people going to and from work.
But bus transportation can be used for fun, too.
This is one RTD bus stop where fun, education, and entertainment are all just a few steps away.
We've come to Exposition Park, just south of downtown Los Angeles. The Coliseum and Sports Arena are here.
So are the Afro-American Museum, Los Angeles County Natural History Museum, and the California Museum of Science and Industry.
And there's the Aerospace Museum and the IMAX Theater, showing movies on a screen 4 stories high.
It's all in easy reach by regularly scheduled RTD buses. For further information about a route near you, call 213-626-4646. 4455.
Well, that's it for this episode of Transit 2000.
On our next show, we're going to explore air travel with a brand new space plane, and we'll ride on some trains that haven't been seen in Southern California for half a century.
We'll investigate the pros and cons of toll roads in Orange County and a lot more. I'm Diana Ortelli.
And I'm Joseph Bendy. We'll see you next time